And good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I have to remember that being in Asia makes that a little bit different on the timetable. Some people are like, morning, it's evening. Anyway, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to. You ever wonder how people can get so much engagement, so many views, so much response for their brand? How do you actually go viral? And one of the things that often hits us is it's all about the timing. It's all about the right message in timing. So today, for 10 minutes, I'm going to go over newsjacking, why it makes sense for you, how to use it, how not to use it, because if you do it wrong, it's going to be pretty bad. Okay, so let's just talk about it. First off, what is it? Well, newsjacking is not necessarily about the news. It could be events. It could be political laws that are passed, like new holidays. It could be stuff about the My Sharona. It could be space launches. It could be anything weather. So what you want to do is you want to look at what is occurring, what people are talking about, and you want to make your message relevant. If you start doing this regularly, you're going to get really good at it. So let me give you a bit of an example. So here, newsjacking was all the rage about 6-7 years ago. But what's funny is it still works. It works very well, and I use it all the time. And what you want to do is you want to find out with your trends, whether you're using Twitter, whether you're using Google Alerts, whether you're using BuzzSumo. These are three really good trends to find out, what people are talking about in real time. You want near time. You want to find out what people are talking about in near time, what's relevant, and then you want to attach something to your brand. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you see a world leader and he's falling asleep in a meeting. You could just say that world leader, insert that president's name, would have a much better night's sleep if you used my pillow promo code POSO or whatever. Jack Posobiec is doing really, it's just all day long. He's doing quips of world leaders, world events, and attaching it to a good night's sleep. And that might be funny, but if you're a travel agency, like it's really big here in Asia, you want to take advantage of weather. You want to take advantage of the lockdowns coming back. Sorry about that. My camera's having a little bit of a fritz there. So let's say they release the travel guidelines, or you're doing a promotion with an airline. If you're a travel agency, you would want to take advantage of that news. You want to take advantage of that hashtag. If there's a funny event that happens, you can copy that funny event. Let's talk about how not to do it. If there is a disaster, let's say there's a typhoon or a hurricane, you don't want to do what Sears did. Sears has Hurricane Sandy hits you, and then they put their promo code, come down and get generators and stuff. You don't want to take advantage of you want to make it fun. You don't want to take advantage of people's tragedy. A good way to newsjack would be something like what Chick-fil-A does. If there's a typhoon or a hurricane, it says, listen, we're going to open up on a Sunday and we're going to cook free sandwiches and we're going to give them to the frontline workers. You could do newsjacking like if there's a disaster, you want to do a blood drive. So you don't want to, during a disaster, you want to help. That helps your brand. You don't want to sell. During something funny or a new event or something that you believe about, you want to link it to something that sales. And you want to have fun while you're doing it. So remember, it's all about timing. So you can't wake up in the morning and wait a day. So if you see something trending, hop on it right now. And that, in a long and short of it, is how you would do a good newsjacking. What I would also suggest is there's brands that do this. You can pay them money. You can buy their books, or you could just I use Twitter. Jump into Twitter real quick. I use Twitter for trends. If I could spell, that would be nice. I should have had this up already. Sorry about that, folks. Bear with me. And what's a great ways for topics to follow, trends for you? You want to set your trends. And you also want to do, this is what's interesting. I'm in Asia, right? So you want to make sure that your personalization is to the location you want to be hitting. So I'm in Asia, but I want to focus on the United States. So I'm going to do United States. United States. Boom. So okay. Explore locations, United States. Let's do. So I'm in the United States already. Okay. So cool. So United States. All right. So we're there. So these are the trends in the United States. So let's look at what's happening. Show more. We're going to go to the trends, and my 4-year-old son is beating on the door. I've got 2 locks in the door, and he's still doing it. So trending. What's trending in the States? We've got Trina, DeGroom. Okay, I don't know any of this stuff. Victoria's Secret. Okay. Yeah. Juneteenth. So this is, look, this is a good way to attach yourself to a social, like a social cause or social movement. You can just say, celebrate Juneteenth, use a promo code. That's a good positive way of using, because that will hit a certain demographic that especially believes in it. And in today's culture, that would be good. The problem with social issues is you might piss off the other side because everybody's got their own opinion on stuff. But that would be a very positive way to newsjack, right? So that's one way. It's a social issue. There's no storms. There's NBA. You can make fun of NBA players, but I'm not really into NBA. But yeah, that would be good. Okay, so I'll also explain something so you remember the 2004 tsunami? It hit all of Southeast Asia, and it was just devastating. And at that time, I was admin for Malaysia.net. It was a social network because I was doing social networks back then. And what we did was we created a tool, and we built a user experience where we don't have to do that now. Now you can just use Google Groups or Facebook groups, and you'd be much faster. But if there's a crisis or an event, you want to reach out to help them. And your brand can say, hey, donate blood here. You don't want to sell. You just want to be relevant. You want to be helpful. So if there's a crisis, and that was very successful for Malaysia.net. We helped a lot of people, like 11,000 people. And there's millions that were affected, billions that were affected. So the point being is you want to attach value to help people in a tragedy and a crisis that you can do versus selling. And then when it's something funny, you'd want to sell. Music is also another one. You can make fun of, if there's something going on in pop culture, you make fun of what's going on. Make fun of presidents are an easy game. You can make fun of them falling asleep. You can make fun of them falling up the stairs, and then attach it to your brand. I would stay away from the My Sharona. I'd stay away from anything in the Middle East. But you can see the trends and how to do that. Now, another way to get trends is I'm going to show you is Google Alerts. Google Alerts. Google Alerts. So I've been doing a lot of work with a friend of mine and a buddy of mine, and his name is Mike Holm, and I suggest you check out Threadweird. But he does great t-shirts and stuff. So one of the things that we do when we're in Newsjack is we're looking at Google Alerts, and you set an alert, and this gives you relevant emails every morning. When you wake up, there's your inbox full of emails, and it's like, boom, this is all the value, the content that you need. And you can set up an alert for news on UFO, for example. And then in the morning, boom, so create alert. And then there's your alert. You can put your name in there. If I want to search for things about myself, I don't want to search for it. You can do viral trends, and it'll give you every morning. Cool. And did you see this? And then when you click it, these are the news of viral trends. And you can take advantage of this for your, right? you take advantage of this. Another thing that's interesting about newsjacking is you don't have to create the content yourself. You can also just curate content that is already trending. So yeah, so you could copy. TikTok videos are good. UFO stuff is good, and you just share it and make sure you put your brand, or it comes from your account, and people will reshare it. And at the bottom is you're getting your name and your brand out there. You can also share it in like a post and say, hey, check this out. They needed they need new conspiracies because all the other ones came true, or something like that. And you can put your URL in the post, and then click it to a T-shirt that you sell. And then down there's the video, and then people would look at the video and they'll get it, and it's relevant to the trend. It's funny, people get it. Newsjacking is all about what you're already doing with Facebook, what you're already doing with Twitter, what you're already doing with your friends. What you're doing is you're trying to find funny. Memes are awesome as well. You're trying to find. I'm not gonna, you don't want to see my meme folder. It is not safe for work, probably. But create a folder for memes that are relevant. Create a folder of memes that are tied to. You want to tag them that are relevant to events and stuff like that. So when you're doing your content marketing, you need to remember, hey, this meme will fit to this situation. It works. Trust me, this really works. Have fun with what you do. If you spend 30 minutes a day just having fun with your brand and seeing what's relevant, what people are talking about, and then making it relevant to what you're doing, you're going to have fun. You're already doing it, and it's going to be very good for your brand, because your personality is going to come through. You're going to have a lot more fun. You can also follow topics here. So if you want to follow a topic, you can create a topic to follow, much like you do a Google Alert. So I wanted to keep this about 10 minutes. I talked for about 11. So far, we've talked about what is newsjacking, right? Newsjacking is basically taking advantage of trends and applying your personal touch to them and making it relevant to your brand. What are the pitfalls of newsjacking? You don't want to sell or promote yourself during a crisis, natural disaster, or something that's just hurting people, okay? What you want to do is use that event, and you don't want to do it condescending. You don't want to seem like you're an ambulance chaser. Do something that's authentic, like Chick-fil-A closing. They're closed every Sunday, but during a crisis, they cooked chicken sandwiches for all the frontline workers. They've also do blood dump drives during crisis. So you want to use events that are bad to help and to reach out. You want to use events that are funny to promote your brand and make witty comments. If you have any questions, please leave us a message or talk to us. Upstarts is basically a big middle finger to the Great Reset. Our job is to connect and grow and to lift each other up. We're going to be talking a few times a week, having a podcast with some industry experts, practitioners, and we're going to invest in each other's business to grow mutually. I thank you for your time. My name is Kevin Leversee. If you want to join our launch list, I put the URL down below. Thank you very much, and remember, tragedy, help. Funny, promote. Thank you.